So if you get with the fact that certain foods are alkaline forming or alkaline ash forming and certain foods are acid ash forming, it's easy to understand. You're talking about hummus and beans and things like that. They're all acid ash foods. So an acid ash food is a food that has an acid ash to it. So if you dump acids into the blood, what does your blood have to do to fix that? And that's the problem. Your blood is an alkaline entity. And if you constantly dump acid ash foods into it, what does the body have to do? It has to steal electrolytes. The main electrolyte it steals is what? Calcium. So then you see varicose veins, spider veins, petechias, hernias, aneurysms, you see all those things. These aren't diseases. Matter of fact, you would do yourself a tremendous favor if you get rid of the whole concept of diseases. Man-made totally. There's always a cause to every symptom you see, and it's always steeped in chemistry. You live in a world of chemistry. You can't prove that raw foods are worse than cooked foods. Who could prove that? There's not a true chemist on the planet can tell you that a cooking your food or processing your food makes it better. That's ridiculous. And when you understand chemistry, you know that when you cook or process, you destroy your electrolytes, anything water soluble, and then you bond your proteins and your fats. What is that? See? And then there's no thought, the craze of proteins. I love that one. That's all over the place, right? But that's part of the negative forces. The more protein you consume, the more you wreck your kidneys. And if anything you learn is your kidneys and adrenal glands are at the core of your lymphatic system. They don't get that yet. Yes, the University of West Virginia, they found the lymphatic system in the brain. Kudos. Before that, some lady professor found the glymphatic system in the brain. So that's 2 in the brain. All right, kudos. What about the rest of the body, and how does it get rid of metabolitic waste? And there was this PhD from Rochester that finally said, you can't sleep on your back or stomach. Remember that? Because you can't drain your brain properly. And I'm looking at this, and he's saying, because you can't get rid of debris out of the brain. But then he went further and defined the debris as metabolitic waste. And that's vital to understand. Every cell eats and poops. Every cell in your body. Are you getting rid of the waste? And waste products are always acidic. It's like your car exhaust. It's like factories. Why is all this acid air, where's it coming from? Then if you have all these acids, like if you're a runner and you're working out, you're creating all this lactic acid, and then you're inhaling more, so you're getting more carbonic and phosphoric acids. So the point is you're creating these, and many people are eating predominantly acid ash foods. So the bottom line, you're bringing all this acid in a body that needs to be alkaline rich, electrolyte rich. When you work out too much, you get what? Dehydration, right? So as you dehydrate, you're looking to rehydrate. Gatorade. What's that pH? What do they say? 2.65. Minnesota School of Dentistry. You know, it's like, damn, that's hotter than Coke. Coke is around 3 pH. So whenever you feel pain in your body, you're feeling about 3 pH. Like if you take a sip of Coke and hold it in your mouth, it's burning you. So most of these acids are around 3 pH. Well, you talked about the lymph nodes. Well, what's in the lymph nodes? 2 things. You got bacterium, right? Their job is to take those 3 pHs and bring them up to 6. Because how would you like to pee 3 pH? Nah. That's UTI stuff. That's cystitis. That's like, that hurts, right? So your little friends, the bacterium, they're in there helping us. But if you go allopathy, they're the problem. Too bad. Then you have macrophages. You have those cells that gobble up damaged cells. What if you cannot get damaged cells and metabolitic acids to the lymph nodes? What if the highway of the lymph vessels are full and you can't get that there? That's where you see the tumors, the cysts, the boils, the pimples, the acne, the psoriasis. That's when you see all of the same stuff. It's all from the same side of chemistry. Location, location, location. And if you don't get rid of them, what's the acid side of chemistry? Corrosive. And it'll chew you up and with no mercy whatsoever. That's why your lymphatic system is a lipid-based system, a cholesterol-based system, right? It's just the war between the 2 sides of chemistry. Same thing in physics. But all foods are not 100% alkaline. They're balanced. You always need phosphorus. You always need some of the acid principles, no question. But the dominance of chemistry is always base chemistry. And that's vital to understand that. And because primates are some of the strongest animals on the planet. A gorilla can rip a lion apart in the mood, you know, and yet they're loving and peaceful. They should give them proteins and stuff, and you can turn a primate into a very angry, ruthless animal. Yo, man.
No, I'm just testimony. I'm a little nervous right now, but
It's all friends, man.
I know. All right, just everything that you're saying is right. They had took out my gallbladder, took out my appendix, took out everything. I had high blood pressure, diabetes, everything.
Yeah.
I'm 56 years old. I started doing exactly what you're saying. I healed myself of everything.
Whoa, baby.
I'm a raw vegan.
All right, baby. And you don't look like the worse for wear. Now, put a little hair on the head and we'll be okay.
Dr. Morse, are you still taking new patients?
I'm not. Our clinic is. I don't see anybody anymore. I'm too busy.
What am I, chopped liver?
Yeah, you got her right here. You got a ton of Roseanne. Yeah. That's why we train each and every one of you. That's why I have my school to teach everyone. Anybody can learn how simple this is. You know, sometimes simplicity shocks the mind. The academic mind cannot handle simplicity. Oh, it's got to be but. If more you but, the further away from truth you get. You know, truth is simple. Keep it simple. You want to be careful about them, like you said, categorizing you into one level or another. When they don't understand something, then you rule by fear. And so you rule by autoimmune bull crap, stuff like that, because you don't know what the hell the problem is, but that's a safe place for me to hide. You want to know what causes everything. Well, you only have two sides of chemistry. You only have two fluid-based systems in the body, and everybody else is a cell. Every cell in your body is genetic. Every cell is genetic, whether it's strong or whether it's weak. You can fix that. You can change the consciousness of that cell. That's not difficult. But the fluid-based systems is what blows back on the cell. If you just look how simple the body is. In other words, if you're a cell in the liver, how am I damaging you? It has to come through those spaces around the cell or trauma. So what's in those spaces around the cell? That's the medical doctors, if you haven't read the latest research. It's a medical doctor's new organ of the human body, the largest organ in the human body ever found. And they've dubbed it the interstitium. What the hell? We've studied interstitial spaces forever. I mean, it's just that sort of stupidity, guys. And you have to be prepared for that. Because you have to learn how simple the body's put together. Step back. It's like when you look too much in academics, you're tearing things apart. You're looking at nano, where they're not quite there yet. But the subnano, there's subnano, and there's even sub-subnanos. So you're in levels that no one could even imagine. How can the mind wrap around it? It can't. It can't wrap around truth because the mind isn't based in truth. It's based in creation. And creation is only your movie. So just keep pulling back to truth. Don't let anybody put a stamp on you. Chronic means you're just more involved. You have acute, subacute, and chronic. Chronic takes you a little while to back away from that. Chronic is just simply a high acidotic condition of the body where cells are being damaged. Whether you have brain lesions, this autonomic is down, your myelin sheaths are down. So rebuild yourself back from that. And it takes the same doorway to go chronic as it does acute. Same thing. So don't worry about what they say, just go after that. Go after the health of the cells of your body, because it's just a body made of cells and two fluids.